Now we're going to go over the e4 variation of the King's Indian attack, which starts in this, which is e4. There are two ways you can end up playing the King's Indian attack through the e4 variation. One of them is the Sicilian defense. Against the Sicilian defense, your next move is d3. It's not knight to f3 here. And then your opponent will play knight to c6. Now, when you form this, it's very important, that you immediately play knight bd2. You have to play that first. The reason being, if you don't play this and you just form the rest of the structure like the fianchetto and what have you, this pawn will be under threat. So against this, your opponent will probably try to play here. And then you form the knight to f3, knight to f6, g3, and then he'll play d5, and then you play bishop g2, and then he'll play bishop to e7, and then you castles, and he'll castle. So just like that, we've reached the King's Indian attack. And another way you can end up reaching the King's Indian attack through e4 is your opponent could be playing the French defense. And again, your next move is d3. In this version of d3, you will often see d5 get played on your opponent's part, and you play knight bd2. And then your opponent will try to play c5, and then you play knight to f3, knight gf3, yeah. And then he'll play knight to c6, and then you'll prepare your fianchetto, and then he'll play bishop e7, and then you castle, and he'll castle. So those are the two ways that you could be playing the King's Indian attack. So again, your whole idea from here is very straightforward from here. Your next move is why do they recommend c3 here? Your next move is obviously rook e1, just like we talked about last time. And then his next move is b5, just like the bayonet attack. And then it's, again, and just like that, again, we go e5 here. Knight to d7 here. Again, knight to f1. a5. h4. b4. Knight 1 h2. This is just like what we learned from before. And then we'll go about our way from here. In scenario 5, we're going to look at what are we going to be looking at? There was a specific variation that I wanted to go over. Yeah, we're going to go over what happens if your opponent tries to play something along the lines of a I mean, we already went over the bayonet defense, if we could call it that, was scenario 1. We'll go over what happens if your opponent tries to play something along the lines of a 150 defense, where he tries to play something that's similar to a 150 attack, but with black. Okay, have fun.